Hi, my name is Neil Howe. You may have already met me in the introductory video. I'm going to be talking to you about generations in the workplace. Generational differences represent a profound dimension of workplace diversity that often gets overlooked. When a coworker tells you they belong to another generation than you do, what they sometimes mean is, I don't understand you. And what they may even mean is, we really have a hard time working together. So what exactly is a generation anyway? Well, a social generation is a group of people born over a period of about 20 years or so who share a basic outlook on life shaped by their common age, location, and history, their common generational setting. Over time, each generation grows older. Youth, on the other hand, is just an age bracket. It's like an empty hotel room that different generations move into and out of with their own baggage, and then they soon leave. In other words, the differences we often notice between people in their 20s and people in their 60s is not just due to their age, but because they have been fundamentally different groups of people all their lives. Why do generations matter? It turns out they're having a big impact on America's workplaces. In a recent Life Course survey of thousands of U.S. employees, nearly 3/4 agreed both that there are important generational differences in their workplace and that these differences pose challenges. Many other surveys have come to a similar conclusion, that there is what some call a generational divide where they work. When you follow up and ask people, is the problem just a question of age difference? They overwhelmingly say no. The challenges are generational. What most worries 40-something managers is not the behavior they recognize in 20-something employees, because sure, I was like that at that age, but the behavior they don't recognize because wait, I was never like that at that age. 20-somethings looking up the age ladder feel the same apprehension. I'm pretty sure I will never be like that when I'm their age. Both groups are right. Each generation is fundamentally different. In fact, every generation is lastingly shaped by the period in which it grows up and comes of age. Members of a generation, therefore, tend to share some collective personality traits, some basic attitudes and behaviors which they bring with them into the workplace. For example, the greatest generation of GIs came of age as the disciplined soldiers of World War II. And in the workplace, they became a generation of organization men who loved uniformity and technocracy. In the 1960s and 70s, boomers came of age, rebelling against all that outer world order and wanted to turn inward. And in the workplace, they became the creative visionaries who constantly question authority. When those who turned age 20 with D-Day reached midlife, they worked in open bullpen offices and logged on to a company-wide mainframe. When those who turned age 20 with Woodstock reached midlife, they preferred retreating into their private cubicles and turning on their personal computer. In the 1980s and 90s, Gen Xers came of age into an individualistic world with hardly any rules or safety nets. There was no point in rebelling against the system. The Xer agenda was simpler. Just be a survivor. And in the workplace, they did what they had to do to get ahead or just get by as entrepreneurial risk takers. Over the last decade, millennials have been coming of age with yet a new set of attitudes and behaviors. And again, we see a new youth spirit entering the workplace. These millennials are pressured and programmed. They're special and sheltered, bonded to their parents and networked to their friends. They want structure and constant feedback, and sometimes even expect to be doted on and served. Why are millennials like that? Where did these young people come from anyway? And what do we do with them now that they're here? These are the questions we'll be answering and discussing. But let me start with a simple and general observation. To be successful at managing generational diversity, your first step should be neither to deny it exists nor to see it as a problem. Rather, you should acknowledge its importance and see it as an opportunity. How? By not trying to force round pegs into square holes, and instead by seeing that different generations with different strengths can help each other in a sort of division of labor, and this can work to your advantage. For example, Boomer and Xer managers are often disappointed that millennials aren't the independent self-starters that they were, and often still are. They ignore the fact that millennials contribute their own unique set of strengths that complement rather than replicate those of older generations. Team-oriented millennials can act as a counterbalance to the self-starter individualism of boomers and Xers, making all generations work more effectively as a group. Good managers delight in finding and leveraging strengths that differ from their own. Organizations that understand generational differences and learn how to work across generations, leveraging each other's strengths, will have a major business advantage in the years ahead.